Hello everyone, this is Rohithkumar Reddy with student ID 100861645, and this is the final presentation for the course code 2205 Visualizations and Leadership, and the professor is Mr. Sergey Rodin. And in this content, in this PPT, we are going to cover what is SARS-CoV-19, recent update on the outbreak, health response on PHAC, testing of COVID-19, prevention and control of the virus. If there is any additional information that we're going to cover in this PPT and the conclusions. So what is coronavirus? So basically, in addition to affecting the people, bats, camels, and cuvettes, coronaviruses represent a large group of viral pathogens. The common cold is a mild sickness, then it will develop into the cough, then there will be a sudden fever, and the heartbeat will also be changed. So the SARS-associated coronavirus is what causes SARS, respiratory disease, that will directly affect your lungs. And in this coronavirus, these are the members of the family Coronaviridae of the nidovirales order. So these are the on the right side of the screen, these are the particular diseases that will spike this up. So because of the crown-like spikes, so these are the crown-like spikes. On its surface, the virus is called as coronavirus. So they are encapsulated viruses that are small, 65 to 125 nm, and it's contagious. And how the human origin of coronavirus has been developed. So coronavirus are mostly seen in bats. So there is a theory that one person in the China has eaten bats, and that's how we spreaded the coronavirus. But I don't know what's true again. However, it is believed that the first virus infected an animal before moving on to humans. These hosts could be labeled domesticated wild animals. So here we can see the bat, camels, fox, and then it spreads over to the human beings. And we don't know what is the exact reason that causes 2019 COVID outbreak. So these hosts could be labeled domesticated wild animals used for the food of growth. And this is the timeline of COVID-19. So basically it started in December 31st, 2019. China, the origin of the COVID-19 is in China. That alerts the WHO to several cases of pneumonia with no known cause in Wuhan. This disease goes on to the name COVID-19. And on January 7th, WHO officially announces that they have identified a new virus named coronavirus. It belongs to the coronavirus family, which includes the virus that has SARS, MERS, and the common cold. And on Jan 11th, China announces the first death linked to COVID-19. And 13th reports first outside case of China in Thailand. That's when we have seen all the flights has been banned. No one wants to travel to any of the places. Everyone has to be quarantined. So after Jan 13, all the pandemic measures has been got into the place. And on February 26th, NIH began the first clinical trial in the US for the potential COVID-19 treatment. Remdesivir, that's the first antiviral drug we have got, which is developed with Ebola. And in February 29, the FDA took steps to expand novel coronavirus testing to hospital clinical microbiology laboratories. On March 11th is the place where all the world have seen the COVID-19 outbreak, and they have implemented the quarantines in every region possible. So WHO declares COVID-19 pandemic with more than 1 lakh cases and 4,000 deaths in 114 countries. April 2 confirmed cases of COVID-19 topped 1 million worldwide. And on April 10th, global deaths due to the COVID-19 is topped up with 1 lakh. And right now we have a data that has the below information. So we have the province, the date which the cases has been registered, and the reporting year, what is the update, total number of cases on the particular date, rate cases total, number of deaths, and the rate of the deaths. So we have created the visualization for the bar graphs. For just to identify the main motto of this visualization is to see how it's going to grow up in the future based on the current data we have, even though the data is very less. We are trying to check on what's happening with the data that we have. And here we can clearly see in this bar graph in 2020, the sum of the total number of deaths is below 5 million, zero point 0.5 million. But in the year 2021, it reached almost to 1.5 million, and in 2022, it reaches to 2 million. So here um, we can clearly see there is outbreak of or the burst of coronavirus here. And in the pie chart, we wanted to cover in which month of 2020 we have most outbreaks. So here on the left hand side, the green, which indicates October, has the highest outbreak of 546.46K, which is the total number of 12.12%, and the second is 10.77% of July. So these two is having the most outbreaks, maybe due to the government lifting the bans. So people used to travel so many other cities, and that's how it's spread. And this is the line graph that indicates when it comes to Canada, according to the province wise. So Quebec has nominated almost 1.5, more than 1.5 million cases, and the least is Nova Scotia, and Alberta has having below 0.5 million cases. And now when it comes to the forecasting, so we have done the forecasting till 2032. We don't know now, we never know, even now we don't have a proper elimination of COVID-19. We only is getting the booster doses and other sort of doses, but not the complete medication for the COVID-19. So this will give us the forecasting of the count on the count of province and for particular years. This will display the level of impact in future with the current data set we have. In 2020, the count of province is below 240, and in future it might vary from 305 to 370. Depends on the current data which we have right now, but we never know. It might be in range between 305 to 370. That's what our forecasting has said. And now when it comes to the conclusions, the Prime Minister is advised by the Public Health Agency of Canada to test and isolate any exhibiting respiratory symptoms or a higher fever, 37.5 degrees centigrade. They shouldn't do it unless they have undergone a COVID-19 test. The 37.5 degree centigrade fever, cough, sore throat, itchy throat, and shortness of breath are all COVID-19 symptoms as per the government of Canada. A running nose, muscle ache, joint pain, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and difficulties eating have also been linked to COVID-19. This COVID-19 have home isolation recommendations must also be followed by the citizens, students, or volunteers. If anyone coming into the country, they have to remain quarantined for at least 14 days and make a checkup of everything before they're releasing out from their quarantine rules. So that's the policy Canada has got into this country. And COVID-19 testing clinics are already offered by everywhere by PHAC. And also Canada has provided the mobile booster shot doses. So wherever you have any symptoms of it, a mobile van will have all the doctors and equipment, and they will right away come to your house. They will quarantine you, and they will give you the proper medication or the booster doses if you already have the vaccinations. And they'll make sure it's not. They'll do the testing first, and then make sure it's if you have to be quarantined or not. Depends on the results. So it's critical to continue the current course of action until the WHO declares the global pandemic to be over. And thank you so much